Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Well, uh-oh.
Shoot. Messed up. First thing.
If you're listening to the podcast, Tom has a switch of a slide that he has to do, and he went the wrong way this morning. But it's a new year, little caught up. You know, I think it's good, Tom, that we got our perfection out of the way right at the beginning of the year. First episode. Now we can just relax and, build into it.
Because, of course, we did start at 8, which was one of the goals that we had. It did not take long for that perfection to be eliminated. Oh, well.
Isn't that how life is, really?
It sometimes is how life is. That's correct.
I think it's more than sometimes. I think we think we're going to be perfect a lot longer than we are. I know I do. I get up every morning and think I'm perfect. And thankfully, I have people around me that make it clear that that's not the case pretty quickly.
Well, I don't know that people make the case that you're not perfect. They just are themselves. They share what's real, and sometimes what's real is you're not perfect. Sometimes people are. I mean, I guess you could say there are times when people are perfect. You can say you wrote the perfect email. You can,
right?
And I think sometimes thinking that is. There are always things we could change.
Yes. As we get new knowledge, experience, and perspective.
Correct.
I'm catching on.
I like that. It's a new year. You're catching on speed.
A game to play.
Well, welcome everyone, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Woo. Welcome to the first episode of 2022. I wonder how long it's going to take me to get that squared away to say 2022, not 2021.
At least you didn't say 2022, because I understand that's wrong. It's 2022.
2022 is wrong?
Correct. I was reading about that over the weekend.
Says whom?
The people who count the years and all that. There's a whole part of this, Tom. It gets pretty complicated.
Does that mean that's just what's real for them?
Yes.
If I wanted to walk around and say
2020, happy 2022, you could. No one's going to stop you.
I might just do that.
Our astute viewers and listeners will probably recognize it and go, oh, wow, I remember hearing that somewhere, that it's really 2022.
Well, maybe that's not what's real for me. So,
right. But if you think before the change of the millennium, if you can remember back to the 1970s and 80s, we said 1979, 1999. We didn't say 19 and 79.
Or 1,979.
Right.
Fair. Okay. All right. Anyhow, welcome everyone. And we are going to kick this year off with a topic that seems to make a whole lot of sense. Last week, we talked about Ready, Set. And in the past weeks, we've talked about, creating your dreams and being prepared. So today, which makes sense because it is the first day of the new year, our topic is it's go time.
It's go time.
Yes. And today we'll be talking about taking action. And we'll get to that in just a moment. What we always start our show off with is our celebrations. So what are you celebrating today, Bob?
I am celebrating the crazy weather. So you're in the mid-Atlantic, I'm in the mid-Atlantic, and right now I am in a place that is getting pelted by rain. Pelted, 35-mile-an-hour winds, high tide, the whole bit. And later today, they're talking about maybe 5 to 8 inches of snow pelting this same area. And I can't wait. One of my goals has been to see snow at the beach. And I'm actually thinking I may go up to the beach when it starts to snow, just so I can say I saw snow on the beach.
You might, maybe you go FaceTime Live on that, so everyone else can enjoy what
I could do that. You
might not want to do thoughts while running in the snow. And you
haven't done thoughts while running in a while. Haven't been running. No running, no thoughts.
Not one of your New Year's resolutions or goals.
There's some extenuating circumstances.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So what are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating that it's actually Monday the 3rd. And I feel like the last week and a half, there's just been a lot of putting things on hold. Let's say that is, and not that there's any issues with that. It just have felt like, yeah, I could send that email out, but will it have the same impact as sending it out on the 3rd or the 4th? And yeah, there's a lot of things that people, well, we'll reconnect in the new year. And while I completely and wholeheartedly embrace that, there is something about it. Okay, it's here. Now let's refocus and get started. And while I say that, I know that there will be this week will still be a lot of getting readjusted. You know, today people will be, if they didn't, they'll be responding to emails and phone calls and all those things that they put off. They'll be thinking about, okay, how am I? They're going to be focused, right? It's the first day of the week. It's the first day of the month, first day of the year, business day. And they'll be diving into whatever it is. So they'll be distracted. And yet there's something good about that, I think. So I think that while I loved the last 2 weeks, there were also parts of it that I was like hesitant because I was unsure of how people would respond. Would they be paying attention? And so now it truly is go time. So I'm going to celebrate that.
All right. Well, the nation celebrates today. It's National, thank God it's Monday Day. So the first Monday of each year is Mondays are a time for rebirth. You can start anew. You have a new week for most people. So this is the first Monday of the year. So this is a big restart day, which fits in with our topic.
So it is a rotating National Day of the year.
First Monday of the year is always, thank God it's Monday Day.
That's
I think
funny.
Right now there are a lot of people going, I don't really feel that way. I wish it were still Sunday Day would have been their preference.
Right. It's funny. I don't think, I don't know how many people say, thank God it's Monday. Maybe some people who are like, oh my God, if I spend any more time celebrating the new year, I will never recover.
You know, at various jobs I've had, I got antsy by Sunday and wanted to be back at work. So I actually would celebrate Monday. And the way you knew I was getting tired of a job and it was going to be resume time was when I would say something to someone like, you know, I'm just not really excited to go to work tomorrow. That would open the doors. And before you know it, I'd be looking for a job and finding a new job. I got bored very quickly.
Okay, fair enough.
So.
All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, if you have something that you're celebrating and you'd like to share, please feel free to put it in the comments or any other thoughts as we go throughout the show. If you are listening to the podcast and you want to share your celebrations, you can go and do it inside our Ringer Renegades Facebook group. We always do it on Saturdays. So we're happy to do that. And you're welcome to do it anytime you want inside our Ringer Renegades Facebook group. So if you are not yet a member, you might want to go there. Just go to Facebook.
What's wrong with you?
Good point.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's a new year. It's a new thing. You're looking for a new space with a new community to help make a difference? Join us in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades, and all you have to do is ask us to join and tell us why you're a renegade. And then you can become a part of that community. Today actually is Marketing Monday. So it's a chance for you to go in. Great day to join. Go in, introduce yourself, and in our Marketing Monday post, share what you have of value that might be beneficial to someone else that they have been desperately looking for. And now that it's the new year, they're fully ready to take advantage of. So,
and every couple of weeks, I hear that there's a connection made through that. Now, I know it's more than one or two, but I hear every couple of weeks someone like, you know, I met that person through the Ring of Renegades. They're really great.
Yeah. So, and we got some other things that we're planning for the year that we'll be announcing fairly soon. So,
really?
Yes.
I do not know of what you speak.
You do. You just don't remember. That's all.
Okay, fair.
All right. So we're going to dive right into our topic today. Today's topic, it's go time. And we're going to talk about taking action. We've talked last week a lot about ready, set, sort of the planning and preparation. And so we are going to take some action today. You want to start off our conversation, Bob?
Sure. I was thinking about this last night a little bit, and there's taking action and there's taking action. I'm going to send an email out on Monday morning and maybe people will read it. Or I'm going to send a great email out and I'm going to do everything I can to make people want to read it. And I think there's a difference. I think a lot of times we go reluctantly or half-heartedly and the results match versus going aggressively and decisively so that there's no confusion about it. You know, I've noticed salespeople that I buy from are very clear about what they're selling, and they don't apologize for the price. They don't apologize that we don't have that feature on this product. Oh, really? Why not? Well, we did some testing. It just wasn't a good fit. Our customers never used it, so it was an additional fee, and we just got rid of it. It's like, oh, wow. Not, oh, I wish we had that feature. That would be really nice. Or, before I tell you about our price, I know it's expensive. I really understand it's expensive for you. I know it's a real stretch for you. That's not go. That's kind of, to go back to our runner analogy, that's kind of, okay, the starter fires the gun, and instead of starting right away, you look around and be like, oh, everyone else is running.
Maybe I better go.
Start walking. I'll build up. I'll get to run, but boy, they're getting really far ahead of me. I wonder I should go a little faster. Oh, maybe a little faster. And I think we all do that. We do that when we're scared, when we're doing something outside of our comfort zone, when we are doing something that I know for me, when it puts me on the line, like if this doesn't work real well, I feel like everyone's going to look at me and be like, Bob, you're a complete failure, even though no one cares. What do you think about all that? I threw a lot at you.
I think some people care. I think a lot of people, I think more people than you think care. I think that is, it's interesting as you were discussing that, I was trying to figure out, is that because you didn't do enough planning and preparation? And so you're not as comfortable with the value you're offering, with the product you have, why the pricing is the way it is, what the message is that you're trying to deliver if you're talking to a team. I wonder if that's what causes people to move, not, it's go time. They're like, yeah, it's go time. It's interesting. Part of me wants to say yes. And another part of me wants to say that I think that no matter how much planning and preparation we do, when we step outside of our comfort zone, it is easy to meekly go rather than decisively go. And so I don't know if that's a personality thing, if it's again, planning and preparation thing, or just a confidence that, maybe it's confidence based on you've done something similar, or, what I kind of like the idea of is that because you have celebrated doing something similar, you are more comfortable that, okay, I was ready. I had some success with something else. So I'm confident that this is going to go. And maybe, and as I think I'm thinking about it, maybe it's when we stop focusing on the results and the judgment that we would place ourselves on the results of whatever action is we take, rather than
others judging us.
Correct. And not worry about that as much.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's helpful for me as I go and break down the action that I took. So I don't know. I think there's a whole lot in there that wraps up, that challenges people to really, when the starter's gun goes off, they are bam, gone. Not just like you said, they kind of like, I think I want to do this. Maybe if I walk in, it's a difference between whether I dip my toe in the water or do I dive head first without really considering what's going on. And there are challenges, I think, to both of those.
Well, and I think there's also an element of go, like when SpaceX was trying to land the rocket stuff that they had rockets that fired, went up, just near space, and then they came back down. They were trying to land it on a barge, and 10 times it failed. And finally on the 11th, it landed correctly. And the first one was spectacular, got real close, then it just fell over. Second one went a different way. And this was all broadcast live because Elon Musk was that kind of person. But in the end, his goal was to get it so it worked. So those 10 failures along the way, he would say every time, we learned a lot today.
Right.
We had success. And I think that to me is the best form of go. He knew what the goal was and those steps along the way that he misstepped. And if you're running, you do that. I've run, and you're running in the rain and you hit a little mud area and you slide and you're like, whoa, I'm going to fall down. Or sometimes you do fall. You can stop right there and be like, all right, I'm not going to run anymore. Or you can pick yourself back up and get back on it and keep going. It's not just go in that first second, like boom, starters, fires the gun, and I go. Go is the prolonged activity, right? You don't run a marathon in 5 minutes. It takes hours.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot to that it's a little bit about what is the end goal and how you define that goal. Because a runner could have a goal of, I want the fastest start. I want to get out of the blocks the fastest. Okay. If that's your end goal, you might do that, yet then you're the slowest for the next however long, 90 meters. The other person might be, I want to just cross the finish. I want to cross the finish line is my goal. And then I can see, all right, well, what were the steps along the way and how do I improve those? I think is it's concept that we talked a lot about is that, being really clear on what the goal is and understanding that often the goal but might not be as beneficial to be a true measurable result. Well,
okay.
I don't really want to say that. I don't think.
I think you just did.
I know.
Do we have to play back?
Always wanted to do that.
Well, I think that the challenge we have, and we've sort of danced around this for the last couple of weeks, is most of us want to accomplish goals. I want to get somewhere. And if you're taking these steps, if you don't feel like you're making progress towards your goal, I know for me, that's very unsettling. That's when I start to make rash decisions, or that's when I start to go, you know what, I'm going to try something else. That's when shiny objects come out and it's like, ooh, I can go do that. That'd be easy. And I can have some success. And I think so often, whether you're leading a team, especially leading a team or running a business or anything in the world, you don't get those big wins very often. They just don't come. I would love to have a big win every day. If I had a client every day call me up and go, Bob, you are the best coach in the world. You're so amazing. You changed my life. That would be about the perfect day every day for me. That's not going to happen. I change lives a lot. You change lives a lot. We all do in our way, but we don't get recognized for it. And I think go puts us in the mental space where we're thinking about completing that race. You can't really think about winning that race until you go, right? And once you go, now it's about winning, whatever winning looks like to you. Winning, getting the sale, winning, getting your team on board to do what you need them to do, winning, launching a new product or service. Those are all things, and I think it's hard to disconnect go from winning.
Well, I think it's defining winning, right? What is your definition of winning? If winning is that in a race that I'm going to run the fastest, okay, you can't control all of that. You can control what you do. Doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to be faster. If your goal is, I want to get to the finish line as fast as I can, that you can control. And that you can then go back and evaluate and say, okay, if I ran the fastest I could run, what went well, what didn't go as planned, what could I do differently? And ultimately that has no consideration of my opponents.
Right.
Or the other people in the race, right? Is because I can't control that, what they do.
Right.
And so I think that getting really clear as you are ready, as you go, take action, of what the results you want to have, and are those results things that you can control? And I think that allows us to be more confident as we move out and move forward.
I think you gave me my one thing.
What is your one thing, Bob? Please share.
So go is about focusing on me, not others.
Ooh.
I thought you'd like that. That's not what I expected to hear come out of my mouth. That is a quantum leap in so many ways. But if it's go and I'm going to run the race, and I decide I'm going to run the race and I'm going to run 8-minute miles. I don't care if someone runs 5-minute miles. Yeah, they're going to beat me. I don't care if someone runs 10-minute miles. My mark is 8. And if I run that race 3 miles, 8 miles, and I'm done in 24 minutes, I accomplished my goal. Now, the next time I might do 7.5-minute miles,
right?
Work down to 6, maybe 5. I couldn't get anywhere close to that. But setting that realistic goal, like when I did run my first 5K, I was like, I just want to finish.
Sure.
My second 5K, it was like, I want to be under 40 minutes. The third one, I want to be under 35. And then it was under 30 and so on. And I think that's different than most people. Like, well, did you win? There's no way I'm going to win. There are teenagers out there that are going to crush it. Now, I did luck out one time. I ran a 10K, so 6 miles, and I was in the age group of the 40-year-olds, and I was the third fastest person in the 40-year-old bracket.
Right.
So and I got a little recognition, which was really cool.
Right. You can't control what the age brackets are.
Nope.
You can't control
how many participants in that age bracket.
Right.
There were 3 of us. So I got third by just getting to the end.
No one has to know that. They just know you got third.
That's it.
Interesting. I like that.
What's your one thing?
I think mine is, I'm going to go very simple, I think, with this, is that when it gets to go time, just do it. Go back to Nike. I think we can hem and haw and be confident and not confident. We can, it's great to think about it as you. It's not focus on those results we can't control. And we will never know any of that unless we do it. And so I think that, when it is go time and you have done all that you can do to be prepared without overdoing it, take the step, see what happens. Don't focus on the results. Focus on what did we take away? What did we learn? And did we achieve? Because that might be for something new, might just be take the first step. Send your email out. Go in and have that conversation with your team. Put that product in the store. See what happens. Share that information with someone. See what happens. And that if your goal is to just take the step,
you did it.
As you said, like you just wanted to finish the race the first time you did it, because you didn't really know. You'd never run a 5K. You didn't know what it was going to look like. I've never done this presentation. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. I have an idea what I want it to happen. And then I'm just going to do it. And then I can measure from that and figure out where to go from there. So I think that's my thing. Just do it.
Tom, I'm going to break in with the news update. I've got snow.
Wow. Snow on the Eastern Shore.
Let me see if I can do this. This is
great for those people watching the broadcast. Not so good for podcast people.
Can you see it hitting the glass?
Nah.
No? It's too gray.
Kind of.
Yeah, we've got snow. So I think as soon as we finish, I'm beach bound.
Well, didn't you say you had to go out and get some groceries or whatever? You might want to do that. Oh, I don't know. You can choose.
No, I'm going to the beach first.
Okay. Good for you.
I got priorities.
Take action. Do it. Just do it.
Just do it. I like it.
All right, folks. If you have your one thing that you'd like to share about go time and taking action, please feel free to put it in the comments. You can also, as we mentioned before, you can go to the Ring of Renegades Facebook group and share it there. Also, coming up, if you are struggling to take that first action on those things you've been wishing about forever, we have a workshop coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. I hope I have that right. So Tuesday the 4th at 7 p.m., right, where we're going to talk about From I Wish to Success, the Renegade Way. So there are still a few spaces left for that if you'd like to join us. Bob may or may not get the link up in the comments.
I'm working on it.
If he doesn't, you can go back and find them, go into the Ring of Renegades and search it, or wherever you are watching, they'll be in the comments. You can also go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com, go to programs, and in the drop-down thing, select From I Wish to Success, the Renegade Way. We've been talking about this, we'll be also offering that again. So if you are unable to make it tomorrow night, we'll have a couple of other offerings throughout the month as we help people go from I Wish to success.
And Tom, if I can, we did one of these a couple weeks ago, and one of the participants said something that really struck me, and that was, this exercise took me from blame to action. And I think that's something, I'm one of those people at the end of the year that I blame myself for all the things I didn't do. I was going to do this, I was going to do this, I was going to do this. And that fog kind of carries into the new year. And I think this is a way to alleviate that fog and really set down, without a lot of like heavy lifting, ways to move forward. You know, I did one of these workshops for a group last week, and I was amazed at how simple the steps were for them to perform. I thought it would take longer, and they just right through it. And at the end, they were like, oh, I'm excited. I'm nervous for what I might accomplish. And I think that's a really great, you know, if you want to be nervous, not nervous like, oh, I don't think I can do it. She was nervous like, if I do these things, I'm going to be so much further along on my path. And so if that's you, if you're saying, I don't know what I want to do this year, or I know exactly what I want to do this year and I have no idea how to get there, this workshop is really, really powerful. It helped me realize how close I was to buying a place at the beach.
Absolutely.
And I know that sounds very simple, but Tom walked me through it. I was like, oh, I did all those steps. And I think that's a really good feeling. It's really a lot easier to accomplish the next thing when you realize how much you've already accomplished.
Absolutely. So we hope that we'll see you tomorrow night, Tuesday, January 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If not, we hope that we'll see you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, first time in the new year, embrace the renegading you.
Nice. And should people say they're glad it's Monday or not?
I'm going to dispense with that because I think it softens the embrace the renegading you thing. I think we should end with that. So that's my new, I'm going to really give it some jazz, you know, embrace the renegading you, not embrace the renegading you. I'm going to really work it.
Okay.
Almost like great. LinkedIn Live.
We didn't get through that today.
We did not.
One of my favorite things. All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.